Michael Myers never runs. He walks, slowly, carefully, and somehow he's always already there. The president can sign a special order that tells every government worker what to do. It's called an executive order. Nobody votes on it, no one debates it, he just signs it, and things change. In his first 100 days back in office, the president signed 143 of them. That's one every 16 hours. That's 7 times more than most presidents before him. While you were going to school, going to work, living your life, he was already in the House. One pen, no vote. Here's how a law works. The House votes, the Senate votes. The president signs it, hundreds of people have to agree. Here's how an executive order works. One person picks up a pen, done. The president isn't supposed to use these orders to make new laws or spend money that Congress didn't say he could spend. But between the moment he signs it and the moment a court says you can't do that, people's lives have already changed. That gap between the signature and the stop is where the damage happens. In 1 year, the president signed 225 executive orders. The last time a president signed that many in 1 year was 1933, during the worst economic disaster in American history. He signed 26 on his very first day back. More than 30% have been taken to court, but here's the trick. If you sign them fast enough, the courts can't keep up, the news can't cover all of them. According to legal scholars, no advocacy group can fight all of them at once. The ones nobody gets to, they just become the new normal. That's not an accident, that's how it works. Courts are supposed to be the referee. When the president goes too far, judges step in and say no. That happened, a lot. Judges blocked an order trying to take away citizenship from babies born in this country. Judges blocked orders that punished workplaces for supporting fairness and equality. Judges blocked every single order targeting law firms. One judge said it was, and these are his exact words, illegal under the Constitution from beginning to end. Judges ordered deportation flights to stop. The planes kept flying anyway. In 1 out of every 3 cases the government lost, they were accused of ignoring what the judge said. 81% of Americans say the government should follow court orders. When the referee says stop and the player keeps running, that's not a game anymore. Every executive order lands on someone's life. These are real people. Kilmar lived legally in Maryland. The government sent him to another country by mistake. The highest court in the country said bring him back. He's still locked up in El Salvador right now. 5 children in South Sudan walked 3 hours in extreme heat to a doctor's office that closed. Because a signature in Washington cut the funding, they didn't make it. More than 260,000 government workers were pushed out of their jobs. The person in charge of the budget was recorded saying, out loud, we want them to suffer. 60,000 people are being held every single day. 32 didn't come home in 1 year. 800,000 young people who were brought to this country as babies and toddlers through a program called DACA still don't know if they get to stay. They grew up here, they went to school here, they built their whole lives here, but no one ever made their protection into an actual law. So every 4 years, their entire future depends on who picks up the pen. These aren't numbers, they're your neighbours. This isn't about one party. Every president has used executive orders, and both sides have gone too far. FDR signed an order that forced 122,000 Japanese Americans into camps just because of where their families came from. Obama protected 800,000 immigrant kids with an executive order. Even he admitted he was pushing the limits of what a president is allowed to do. Biden tried to cancel student loans using emergency powers meant for something completely different. The Supreme Court said no. Bush used the 9/11 emergency to force soldiers to stay in the Iraq War, which had nothing to do with 9/11. Trump declared an energy emergency on day 1. There was no energy emergency. 0 laws have ever been passed to fix this, because whoever's in charge always wants the power for themselves next time. Nearly 70% of Americans think this president is grabbing more power than any before him. Only 21% think things are normal. The pen doesn't care who holds it. Laurie Strode survived because she didn't look away. Stay awake. This is not a test. All the rules that kept certain places safe, gone. Not your church, not your kid's school, not the hospital your mum goes to. 60,000 locked up, 32 never came home. 225 judges said this is wrong, nobody listened. The Purge. He's been in your house this whole time. What do you think this one's about?